back to controversy in Colorado. Who won this race? I don't know. I can't tell. What did you call it? Was it Gravedigger or Carolina Crusher? They're right there on the finish line together, and Gary Porter is arguing with the U.S. Hot Rod officials because he thinks he won the race, or at the very least, it was a dead heat, and they should rerun it. But they say, no, no way. They say the Gravedigger won it, and there's nothing they're going to do about it.
Well, I guess I have to live with it.
I agree with you, Gary. It's like taxes. We have to live with it. Our next matchup pits Taurus against the Equalizer. Yes, a rematch of what we saw in round number 1. And Equalizer and David Morris still having oil pressure problems. But you remember, he smoked Jackie Wellman and Taurus in round number 1. And now, the rematch. Can Taurus, the lighter truck, hold on and pick up a win? Or is David Morris, oil pressure problems and all, going to be able to make it 2 in a row? You might say this is the battle of the former world champions. Equalizer was a world champ in '89. Taurus had it in 1991. They've been arch rivals throughout the years.
I'm pistol fed. The Westwood won in a day, and I'll be riding high after running the Equalizer straight out of town.
Taurus, how about low riding? I showed you who's boss in round 1. Now it's time for a repeat performance. Hiya!
Well, okay. Then you better get ready for the ride of your life.
We are set to go, tread to tread. It's Taurus 1 win, Equalizer 1 win. This will be the tiebreaker for early in the season. There they go. Equalizer with a little quicker reaction time, first off the line and first across the finish line. Equalizer, that doesn't seem like a truck with oil pressure problems to me. But this may have cost Taurus some problem. Look at him there, almost a false start. Equalizer takes advantage of that, mashes down on that big accelerator, and he's first off the line. Now, Taurus had a good run, there's no doubt about it, but he was about a half second behind Equalizer on the starting line, and Equalizer picks up the win. He moves on to the semifinals. Jim Davidson's with David Morris. Let's check on those oil pressure problems in Equalizer.
The Rocky Mountain saga continues. Maybe you ought to run without oil pressure all the time.
I have no idea what's holding this motor together. We've put some additive in it. It's a Lucas oil additive, and I guess that's the only thing that's holding this motor together.
Well, you just beat Taurus for the 2nd time tonight, and you did it in a handicap position.
Yeah, that's right. When I went to the line that time, I had exactly 0 oil pressure, and like I said, I guess it's the Lucas stabilizer. There's nothing else can hold it together.
Well, David, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you keep on winning. Our next matchup is Predator, Alan Pizzo. We've seen him before going up against the Invader. The Invader truck weighing 11,000 pounds, a very heavy truck. And Alan Pizzo's Predator slightly over 10,000 pounds. Of course, 10,000 pounds, the minimum these monsters can weigh. And there are the cat eyes of the Predator as he prepares to take on the Invader. Alan Pizzo sits up staged, ready to go on this cool Colorado night. Invader has some problems. Predator takes advantage of it, and he goes on to win it. The Invader's bobbling on that first set of cars cost him that win. There was no reaction time problem, nothing else. He was right with the Predator. Then he starts bouncing around. This is the problem with this truck. The rear end just bounces, and he cannot catch up. Matter of fact, he's having trouble staying on the track against the Predator. Predator, meanwhile, there you go. Predator has already crossed the finish line as the Invader is just coming over our camera parked in the middle of the second set of cars. Now, you'll notice some fluid coming out of the back of the Predator. Don't worry about that. You can see that stuff dripping out. That's just coolant. That's in there to keep the engine cool. And the Predator has to keep his cool as he moves on to semifinal action.
Invader was schooled on the finer aspects of losing. And who's gonna try and swipe at me next, huh? Who? Barefoot. If you're the brave one, you better come prepared with a grisly appetite to win, because I've got a thick, sense. And I will wound you.
Welcome back to Monster Wars. Monster trucks aren't the only powerhouses to run at the U.S. Hot Rod events. Tractor and truck pulling are creating a craze of their own. The power behind these trucks are awesome. In fact, they are the most powerful vehicles of any motorsport, with the capability of pulling up to 70,000 pounds. Two stars in the sport are more than just friendly rivals. They're brothers, Dan and Dave Walsh. And with the help and encouragement of their father, who was also a veteran puller, the brothers Walsh have turned pulling into a rather lucrative family operation with over $500,000 invested in their truck and tractor.